One of the most iconic holiday movies ever made, perfect for both Halloween and Christmas. The Nightmare Before Christmas is unforgettable, not only because of its spooky yet fun setting, but also because of the overall heart of its twisted characters. Who wouldn't want to spend some time in Halloweentown, the place where pumpkins scream in the dead of night? I'm Samantha with Wicked Binge, and this is The Nightmare Before Christmas Characters, Good to Evil. As usual, we're starting on the good side. And who better to start than the most good boy in Halloweentown, our favorite ghost dog, Zero. He's surely the dog everyone would love to have. I mean, instead of taking him for a walk, you'd get to take him for a float. He's loyal, caring, and sweet, which is slightly surprising given the fact that everyone in Halloweentown is so full of mischief. Like living dogs, Zero is adorable and pretty much only capable of good. His first concern is its owner's happiness. He's a very supportive and attentive friend and is quite smart, since he knows exactly what's best for Jack. He's the only character who doesn't speak in the movie, since he only barks, but I'm sure if he could talk, he would only say positive things. Next up is the innocent victim of all the shenanigans in this movie. Our big, fat, beloved, and jolly Santa Claus, or should I say Sandy Claus, like the folks of Halloweentown call him.
Sandy Claus.
He's the ruler and icon of Christmastown. And yes, in real life, he's known to bring happiness and joy all around the world, that one special night of the year. He has a kind heart, and of course, he's wonderful to children. He's also fair and thoughtful, even with the misbehaved kids. Sure, he gets a bit cranky and serious when he's in Halloweentown, but who wouldn't if you were kidnapped the way he was? He's definitely out of his element here. Poor Sandy Claus. He can't catch a break. Next up, we have the famous Ragdoll, who Hot Topic customers everywhere fell in love with. The heroine of Halloweentown and owner of Jack Skellington's heart, the sweet Sally. She has a really clever and shy side, but she's also caring and compassionate. On the other hand, she also has visions and premonitions like some sort of crazy person, but we'll chalk that up as a quirk. Despite the fact that she's Dr. Finkelstein's creation, she's caring and sweet, and nothing like her creator. She's very forgiving, as we see when she was locked up by the doctor and seemed not to hold much of a grudge. Sally is also the only one who questions Jack's Christmas plan, although she ends up helping him anyway.
But you're the Pumpkin King.
Not anymore.
The next character is the most charming and charismatic of all the citizens in Halloweentown. Any guesses? Of course, I'm talking about our beloved and famous Jack Skellington, a true gentleman in everything he does, even if it's causing trouble. He's super curious and loves to explore and discover new things, exactly like a little kid. Although sometimes he doesn't express it very well, he certainly has a kind and good heart. Normally, he's a calm, introspective guy and does everything to please those around him. He can also be a bit naive, like when he didn't realize all the chaos he was causing on Christmas Eve until it was too late.
Sandy Claus, in person. What a pleasure to meet you.
Like everyone in Halloweentown, he loves to scare others, but he wouldn't go as far as hurting anyone, humans or monsters alike. Basically, he's a hero who makes mistakes. His logic can be questionable sometimes. And when he gets angry, boy, you better run for your life because he's going to let out his frustration with everything he's got. Jack, mistakes aside, is someone who is overall good and wants to do his best. And when he messes something up, he does his best to fix the messes that he caused. Skellington is a stand-up guy, a man of honor who only wants to spread joy to the people wherever he goes, whether it's through terror for Halloween or presents on Christmas. Next up, we've got a bunch of goofy, yet nice Halloweentown residents. We'll rattle them off quickly and do our best to rank them based on the little info we have on them. Now comes the most disgusting yet adorable zombie family, the Corpse family. There's Corpse Mom, or Bertha, who is morbid and obese. There's also Corpse Dad, or Ned, the friendliest of the family. And finally, little Ethan, the corpse kid. Despite their gruesome appearance, they seem like a happy family. Then there is the giant monster Behemoth. Take a good look at him and picture yourself in a foggy night when suddenly the huge Behemoth shows up with that axe stuck on his head. That would definitely scare my pants off. However, since it's likely he has some sort of brain damage due to that axe on his head, we can give him a break. The other Halloweentown residents who rank together include the Mummy Boy, the Clown with the tearaway face, Wolfman, and the Devil. They all love celebrating their holiday and like to indulge in the usual pranks and scary behavior. Not much we can really say about them, aside from the fact that they look like good neighbors, by the standards of Halloweentown. We have to hit on some of Dr. Finkelstein's creations. One could argue that they're as innocent as the other typical Halloweentown residents, but as an extension of the Mad Doctor, we place them just a smidge lower. First is Dr. Finkelstein's dark creations, his loyal assistant, Igor. He has a creepy and deformed appearance and shares similar tastes with the Doctor. However, he can be funny sometimes. He does everything to please his master, so he's kind of, like a dog. Given the personality of Dr. Finkelstein, we actually feel really sorry for this guy. Speaking of Dr. Finkelstein creations, we feel sorry for is his lover, Miss Jewel. He literally made her in his own image. A bit more feminine, though. The poor Jewel even has a duck mouth like the Doctor. Despite having part of his brain, she can be way less grumpy than him. Honestly, I don't even want to know what the Doctor does with her. Next up, we have the scariest monster. That's right, a politician, the mayor of Halloweentown. Despite his big position, the mayor doesn't show any kind of authority in the town. He kind of just likes to own the title. In fact, it seems like he defers to Jack on just about everything, presumably because he's lazy or incapable. On the flip side, the mayor is portrayed as harmless and even caring, not to mention the fact that he got himself in gear quickly during the emergency in which Jack went missing. With that said, his two-faced behavior, although an obvious satirical jab at politicians, is hard to overlook, essentially making him less trustworthy than many others in town. I mean, honestly, would you trust someone who literally had two faces? Especially when one of those faces came with a personality that was negative, paranoid, and neurotic? Now, since we ranked a bunch of the minor resident characters earlier the same, we didn't want to cop out and do it again, so we broke up the menacing little trio. First is Beryl, a cruel member of the trick-or-treating trio. He seems to be the dumbest of them all, and that's exactly why he's so impressionable, and why we ranked him lower than his trick-or-treating comrades. Beryl is a small ghoul, and always has a creepy smile on his face. Because he's the least intelligent of the trio, he's very influenced to do whatever he's told. But who knows where his loyalties truly lie, given the fact that he's done odd jobs, not only for the boogeyman, but also Jack as well. Not to mention the fact that he was the one to accidentally reveal his boss's plan. Maybe he's just a little dim. Second in the trick-or-treating trio is the girl in the group, the little witch, Shock, the smartest and most cunning of the three. It may be because she's the oldest, but the fact is that she's always the one coming up with plans. While the others wear masks with a smile, she doesn't have any expression in hers, which gives the impression she's more serious and shrew than the two other little villains. Shock also takes the lead on their sneaky adventures many times, perhaps because she's actually pretty good in making trouble in Halloweentown. She's also very authoritative, and she's constantly disputing the trio leadership with Locke. The last one in the trick-or-treating crew, we have the little devil, Locke, who earns the Bronze Medal of Evil. He also appears to be the leader. He's the sneakiest and most cocky of the group. Locke's outfit is also enough to prove his rebellious personality, right? Not to mention his is genuinely cruel. But like Beryl, unfortunately, he's also a bit dumb himself. Overall, they're all just bad kids who like getting in trouble. In my opinion, they just need a good role model. Maybe Santa Claus. Next up, earning the Silver Medal of Evil is the horrifying scientist, Dr. Finkelstein. He is just disgusting to look at. And if you don't think so, what about that habit he has of scratching his brains? Freaking gross. But we can't gauge his morality on his physical appearance, obviously. So let's take a look at him in a little more detail. He's one of those stereotypical mad doctors who lost his mind and now spends his time doing creepy experiments for his own amusement. experiment. There's no doubt that the man's work breaches the ethics of medicine and science. I can't imagine the panic of being held in his lab like Sally was. He's a selfish, overbearing, and cruel character. He's based on the character Dr. Victor Frankenstein. All of the characters in Halloweentown are morbid and sick in a sort of charming way. But Finkelstein's behavior and actions definitely take an emotional toll on Sally, so they aren't defensible.
You're mine, you know. I made you.
Maybe it's best to just chalk this guy up as insane. And now, the winner of the gold medal of evil in the Nightmare Before Christmas, the evil Oogie Boogie, the sinister, dangerous, and smooth-singing boogeyman.
Well, well, well. What have we here?
He's a sadistic and eccentrical monster whose cockiness has no end. His horrifying figure also emphasizes his creepiness. And if you think for a minute that he might have something more redeemable on the inside, nope. Just bugs. Lots of bugs.
5 bugs! 5 bugs!
He lives for chaos and causing trouble, and not in a fun, innocent way like the rest of Halloweentown. He's angry and at times sarcastic, showing us that Boogie feels that he's superior to everyone around him. Let's also not gloss over the fact that his home is filled with torture devices.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7!
Plus, he loves to gamble. And what does he gamble on, you ask? Other people's lives, of course. He will torture you to death without a second thought. And based on the tools he has access to, it seems like in some of the cruelest ways you can imagine. His life revolves around fear. He feeds himself with it. This guy is so evil that everyone in Halloweentown seemed to banish him off into solitude where he belongs. He is truly the stuff of nightmares, and without a doubt the most evil character in The Nightmare Before Christmas.